Hey, what's up, guys? My name is 6Z. For those of you who don't know, well, now you know. It is 10:45 in the lovely state of Ohio, and I say that with the most sarcasm possible. I'm gonna be doing I'm not even gonna call this really a commentary. I'm gonna call this a voiceover for a game. I'm not gonna be talking about the gameplay too much. Call of Duty gameplay has kind of fallen off to me. I'm not a fan. You know, it's just not something I enjoy. It's not that I'm good or that I'm bad, anything like that. I consider myself an average player. I'm actually going to be talking about life. You know, a lot of people have been asking me lately. I've gotten a couple inbox questions saying, you know, why do we live the way we live? And I also got the question, who is your favorite and most attractive famous person? So I kind of figured I would work those both together here. My favorite and most attractive Hollywood or famous person would have to be Marilyn Monroe, because, you know, for X amount of years she was just an icon for women. She was a beautiful woman, and though she died young, I do believe that she was a very beautiful woman. And with that being said, I would pay millions of dollars to go back in time to the 50s and live in the 50s. It just looks so interesting, you know. The whole Marilyn Monroe thing, you know, just having that classic feel. I've been watching a lot of Pawn Stars, the TV show, and you know, all the stuff they're getting from the 50s. It really looks like a good time. It looks like a great time to live in. This is right after World War II. But it really is interesting. I would really, I mean, my room, I do plan on ordering a couple things here soon. One of which is a decorative wall hanging of Marilyn Monroe, the famous the dress picture. They have a black one that's on like a kind of like a canvas thing for about $35. I'm planning on getting. I've seen a couple vintage Dr. Pepper things, some vintage Coca-Cola items. That kind of stuff really intrigues me. You know, the 50s were pretty cool. I know, didn't have Xbox, you know, didn't have computers, didn't have any of that, so there wasn't anything modern about it. It was just a good time, you know. It wasn't, you know, you could pretty much send your kids out and expect them to come home for dinner. And unfortunately, in this day and age, you can't send your kids out and expect them to be home for dinner and believe that they're going to be 110% safe as you would in the 50s. Everything is just a little different in today's day and age. Not a huge fan of today's culture, the way that we act, and I don't know. Me and my friends were talking about it, and ow, that kind of hurt. But me and my friends were talking about it, and we just realized today how big of douchebags we are to each other. I mean, we're best friends, and still we say stuff that puts each other down pretty hard. I don't see where that comes from. And I mean, I bet you a lot of you guys are probably like, yeah, you're kind of sounding like my grandpa or my dad here. You know, it is what it is. Expressing my feelings on my commentaries. So it's it's interesting. It really is. But just think about that, guys. How cool would it be to go back to the 50s? Live in the 50s. Just for 10 years, 50 to 60. That's all I would want to live back then. That I would come back. Just to have that feel. Vintage stuff appeals to me so much. I've always told my mom that when I get my first house, it's gonna be a nightmare because I am going to decorate in vintage shit, and not exactly the cheapest stuff. I mean, if you want to go back and grab nice Dr. Pepper, Coca-Cola memorabilia, that's a decent chunk of change you gotta pay there, for a classic 1954 Coca-Cola sign, all metal, probably be about, $40. You go out today, you can buy a plastic, Call of Duty sign. I don't know, I'm just using an example. You go buy one of those for $10, when everything was made, well, when most stuff was made USA, you didn't have all this China, cheap plastic objects made for pennies on the dollar, by people for pennies on the dollar. But I know a lot of my younger fans, I don't even want to say I have fans, really. I only have 2,000 subscribers. Only about 300 of you guys are active, so I'm not going to say I have fans, but a lot of younger people who watch my videos right now are probably saying, man, this guy sounds like my dad. He's talking like my grandpa. I don't even like this guy anymore. Well, tough shit. But here, just think about it, guys. How cool would it be? I know I'm the same way a lot of you guys would be. I wouldn't be able to live without my cell phone and my computer and my Xbox. But think of a time before all that, when it was simpler. I don't want to sound like a douchebag, but I am. Everything was simpler back then, and it really was amazing just to see what your imagination could do. It's, I don't know, it blows my mind. A lot of people say, you're living in the past to, let's say your grandmother or grandfather had a very old cell phone. Tell them quit living in the past, and believe it or not, it's actually one of my dreams to live in the past. So there is a bit of a difference between the two sayings, and I don't know. But if you guys could tell me how you guys feel in the comments, tell me how you would feel if you could go back to a time period. What time period would it be, and why? This is an interesting topic that not a lot of people, I say young people, but I'm 15 years old. It's not like I'm old, but a lot of people, especially teenagers, they just don't grasp, what other time periods had that we don't. I mean, back then they had some of the greatest imaginations ever. It really is amazing. This video is almost coming to an end. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. As always, have a fantastic day.